That's beautiful. It's nice to be here, guys. I perform in New England a lot, you know. And thank you. And sometimes, you know, it's hard for me to relate to the crowd, but I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job, you know. I feel like I'm pretty much a white guy. You know, I hike. I bike. My girlfriend's Asian. Just like you. Just like you. I was watching the Olympics this year, guys. I love the Olympics. I was watching a lot of ping pong. Olympic ping pong is great, right? Because every year you get to see every country bring together their best Chinese people and compete for who is most Chinese. Right? Let's be honest. Olympic ping pong is not really a question of who's the best at ping pong, and more of a question of how far can Chinese people flee? And the answer is Moldova. Great team. The Chilean and Argentinian teams this year were 60-year-old Chinese women. Yeah, that's crazy. They literally moved there a couple years beforehand, started playing at a local club, and found out that they were the best player in the country. That's crazy. I wish I had a skill like that, you know? Like maybe when I retire, I'll move to Australia and start breakdancing. So I was actually born in China, guys, right? I was born in China. Thank you, thank you. I was born in China, but then when I was 8, I ended up moving to Australia because, you know, my parents wanted to experience racism. I was nervous about moving to Australia because, you know, I didn't speak any English. But then I got there, and I was like, oh, neither do they. They put me in this ESL class, right? That's like English as a second language. That's where to help you learn English faster, they put you in a class where no one speaks English. Which is a lot like if you were to teach swimming by letting all the kids that didn't know how to swim drown in the same pool. It's just me and a bunch of foreign kids, you know? Guy from Korea, dude from Pakistan, dude from Philly. From Australia, we ended up moving to New Zealand, and then from New Zealand to here. And when people find out that I, you know, moved around a lot as a kid, they're usually like, "Oh, was your family in the military?" I'm like, "No, they were indecisive." Yeah, my family's not in the military, but I was drafted into a terrible conflict, my parents' marriage. Growing up, my parents, they like to argue by pointing out all the negative traits that the other one had passed on to me. Alright, the Asians get this one. Like, my dad would be like, your ingrown toenails are the reason why your son can't walk straight. And then my mom would be like, he can't walk straight because you gave him astigmatism and he can't see for shit. Like, each of these insults is designed to hurt the other person, but every insult hurts me. Yeah, growing up, my mom, she would always just be like, oh, you're just like your father. And I'm like, you picked him. But alright, Mom, if I'm like Dad, does that mean my sister is like you? And she'd be like, no. Your sister is like your dad's mom. Okay. So you pass 0 genetic information to either of your kids. And then she was like, well, maybe your kids will be like me. So So I went and got a vasectomy. She's like, you can't do that. You can't just run away from your problems. I'm like, actually, yes, I can. And I would have done it a lot faster without these ingrown toenails slowing down. So thank you for that. It's good to see all these Asians in the house. It's nice, man. A lot of Asian moms, you know, they don't understand boundaries, right? Like growing up, my mom, she would read my diary. And I know this because she would leave notes. Cute little critiques and criticisms. Like I would write down my hopes and dreams and then she would correct it to what's acceptable. Like in high school, I think I wrote something like, oh, I feel like I could have made the basketball team if I was taller. And she scratched out taller and wrote, better. And then I scratched out better and wrote, had supportive parents. No, I had to throw her off, right? So eventually what I did was I created a decoy diary. That's right, I had 2 diaries. One filled with the truth and one filled with propaganda. Like in the actual diary, I would write things like, oh shit, I think mom found my porn stash. And then in the other one, I would write, oh shit, I can't believe dad has a porn stash. Japanese bukkake? This is disgusting. I am shocked that we have the same taste. I've been trying to learn Spanish recently, guys. I've been trying to learn Spanish so people will be confused when I speak. Just like, what kind of minority are you? North Mexican. West of Guadalajara, east of Beijing. That's where I come in. I've been learning on Duolingo. I was on there for like 200 days. I was feeling pretty good. And then I went to Mexico. And I found out that being good at Duolingo doesn't make you good at Spanish. It just makes you good at Duolingo. Right? Like at first when they would ask me, ¿Hablas español? I would be like, sí. Un poco. And then halfway throughout the trip, I had to change it to, poquito. Muy poquito. And then by the very end of the trip, I was just like, nope. No hablo American. Because I realized that what Mexicans think is a un poco amount of Spanish isn't so goddamn un poco. Like I would say I speak a little bit of Spanish, and then they would go off on like a 10-sentence tirade, like Pitbull at a reggaeton concert. I was like, hey, Mr. Worldwide, I have no idea what you just said. And when I say a little bit of Spanish, I mean I know numbers, colors, some fruits, the chorus to Despacito, and I can ask questions and not understand the answers. That's where I'm at. Thank you. That's okay, you don't have to do that. I feel like the app, it doesn't teach you enough like conversational Spanish. It also doesn't teach you any slang. Like the word that I learned for jacket in Spanish is like chaqueta, right? Chaqueta. But then you go to Mexico, you find out that's slang for to jerk off. I was like, oh. So I've just been going all these code checks, asking for hand jobs. This lady at the last show was like, so did you get any? I'm like, yes, Juan only charged me 100 pesos. His hands are very soft. Guys, I was driving to Boston the other day, right? And this dude, he cut me off real hard, inches away from an accident. I was super pissed, right? I had to swerve around him, and then I saw his face, and he was Asian, and I was like, fuck. God damn it. He's one of mine. I guess I just gotta let this shit go, right? But then I thought about it. I was like, what if he actually hit me? Then people driving by would see two Asian guys at an accident. I'm like, this is unacceptable. So I got out of the car and I started yelling at him in Spanish. Oy, cabrón! Abolaste mi auto! You de puta vas a pagar por esto! And to my surprise, he started yelling back at me in Spanish. I'm like, oh shit. Are you actually Latino? Or you doing what I'm doing? Okay, great minds think alike. We keep going back and forth until a white dude pulled up and told us both to go back to Mexico. And then we just looked at each other, we're like, fucking mission accomplished. That's how you do it, people. That's how you fight the racism. By deflecting the blame to another race. I'll leave you with this. I've been reading up on inspirational quotes this year. I've been trying to get inspired. I read this Japanese one. It goes, Nana kurubi yamuki. And that translates to a fall down 7 times, get a beat. Fall down 7 times, get a beat. Very famous, right? Now the Japanese are very persistent people. And you can tell by their proverbs and their war crimes. Yeah. But they're not very good at math, unlike the Chinese, the original Asians. Because that saying should really be, if you think about it, it should really be fall down 7 times, get up 7 times. Right? You fall once, you get up once, you fall twice, you get up twice, you can't get up more times than you fell. That's like saying fall asleep 7 times, wake up 8. Like, unless you're taking shrooms, you can't wake up when you're already awake. Or it's like saying jerk off 7 times, come 8. Go to Taco Bell 7 times, get diarrhea 8. No, that one's theoretically possible. No. I think it's so funny that over all these centuries, all these Japanese philosophers are like, oh yeah, that's a great saying, that's a great saying. And not a single person was like, hey, should we maybe like check the math on this one? But I get it, right? They were trying to be inspirational, you know? They're exaggerating for effect. But I'm gonna share the Chinese one with you tonight. I think you're gonna like it a lot better. It makes a lot more sense. You ready? Don't fall